Well, hey there, folks. How you doing today? Hope you're having an awesome day. Well, today we're going to have a look at a knife that was sent to me by that fine feller, Sasquatch Knives Canada. And I guess you could call this one a beater knife. It's a very, very inexpensive knife and very basic construction, but certainly get the job done. And if you lose it, you're not owed a lot of money. You just go grab another one. Anyway, it is the Kudu Lite by Cold Steel. And if we look at the specs, it has a blade length of 4.5 inches. The steel is 5 CR15 MOV. The weight is only 2.7 ounces. The blade thickness is only 2 millimeters. And your handle is made of glass reinforced Zyx, which is trademarked by Cold Steel, and comes in at 5 3/4 inches. So here it is. Now this is a model that was a takeoff of a very similar knife they put out, the Kudu. And so this is the Kudu Lite. Now, I'm not sure why they call it the Kudu Lite, because it's 2.7 ounces, which is a very light knife. But the original Kudu is 2.4 ounces, and it is a ring lock knife. So we'll sneak a little picture up here, but it would have a ring here, so that when the knife's open, you would have to pull the ring to disengage the lock. So I think it's a pretty neat knife. So you see your handles are glass reinforced Zyx, and basically a synthetic type of plastic with kind of a wood grain structure to it. You have an inlay shield, which is meant to represent the kudu, which is an African antelope type critter that they decided to name the knife after. It's if you read the information on Cold Steel, they say this is an African-inspired design from a traditional African knife. So we have the 5 3/4 inch handles. That's a whole lot of handle. Now the interesting thing about it is that it's a slip joint with a back spring, but as you can see, it's an external spring. Now I'm sure that's not an original design, especially if this is a knife inspired by a traditional knife, but it's kind of a neat design. So there's no internal spring. This plate wrapped around the back acts as your spring. So when you open the knife, you see it pushes up on that spring, locks into a half stop. So there's your pivot. So it's like a fulcrum effect. So there's a lot of pressure being applied here as the blade pushes the spring up here. And then as we go into the open position, you can see that snaps into place. So that gives really good retention, because you're really going to push against that spring to cause the knife to close. And it's almost, I forget the name, but the knives, I'll remember the name and write it up here, but those knives that have a little handle here that opens up, and then you keep the knife closed by applying pressure there. So you have a 5 3/4 inch clip point blade. Now this thing is very thin at 2 millimeters. It's a high flat grind, so this thing is going to be very slicey. Mirror polish, and you can see it's definitely a fingerprint magnet. Look, there's me. So you get the little, sorry with the light, you get the little Kudu etched into the blade and the Kudu Lite name. And then on the flip side, you get the Cold Steel 5 CR15 MOV made in China. I've been using this knife, so you can see it's already taking some scratches. But very thin, slicey blade. Takes a very nice edge. So nice and sharp. Now, how long that edge will maintain, I don't know, but very easy steel to resharpen. So you may sacrifice some edge retention for some ease of sharpening. It's always the trade-off. But this thing comes in at 10 inches overall. That's a whole lot of knife. I've got medium-sized hands, and you can see I can almost use this thing two-handed. So if you got big mitts, you're probably going to like this one. Price-wise, I looked it up down in the States. Runs about $10. Up here in Canada, I checked it out on Blades Canada, and they're selling it for $14.99 Canadian. And if you wanted the original Kudu, it'd be $21.99 Canadian. So a very inexpensive knife. Locks up really well. The handle, I mean, it's plastic, but it's got a good texture to it, good grip. My one complaint would be when I originally got it, the edges here were a little rough, a little sharp. So all I did was just take a metal tool, and then I just ran it up and down through here a little bit and just rounded those edges out. So that solved that problem. So feels very good in the hand. It's a whole lot of handle on this thing. But there's a whole lot of blade on it too. Snaps right into that half stop and snaps closed. Very, very aggressive snap. Those are very strong springs. How long they'll hold over time, I'm not sure. It looks like the pin goes through the shield. And looks like they're actually, I don't see that pin, so the plastic must be the full thickness where the pin goes through. So that's really going to help. I mean, it's plastic over time. Just the motion of that pin will likely wear at the plastic. But if they've got it going through the shield, and if that is if the plastic is the full thickness of the handle there, which it appears to be because I do not see that pin, then that will certainly contribute to a longer life. But I mean, if you're down in the States, it's a $10 knife. If you're up here in Canada, it's a $15 knife. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. But you could almost consider this a folding hunter type knife. But that is a very thin, slicey blade, and I don't know, it's not an expensive knife, but I think it's pretty cool. It weighs like 2.7 ounces. I mean, you don't even notice it in your pocket. I mean, there's no weight to it at all. Anyway, just a quick look at that one, folks. I just thought it was pretty neat. It was a nice gift from Sasquatch Knives Canada. Got a pretty cool look to it. Very interesting mechanism that seems to work really well. How long that will last with the plastic handles, I don't know, but it will certainly last you the value of the knife, I would think. So a good little throw it in your bag. If you're looking for something light, it certainly fills that bill. Fit and finish is all good. I mean, there's not a whole lot here to go wrong with. And you've got, looks like maybe a T8 for your pivot screw. So you can even adjust that if you want. But yeah. Very simple, but very cool, very light knife. And certainly very slicey. Anyway, folks, I think it's a pretty decent option if you just want a light pocket dropper. It's going to take up some real estate, your pocket height wise, but I just throw it in my back pocket and go. Anyway, that'll be it for today, folks. Hope you're having a great day. I mean, spring has sprung. The flowers are popping out of the ground. The leaves are sprouting on the trees. I even found some cracked open robin's eggs. It's always one of my favorite signs of spring. So, great time to get out in the woods before the bugs get too bad and just enjoy the world coming back to life. And if you do, take a knife with you. Might just come in handy. And y'all take care.